If they get the answer correct, it'll mark it as correct. If they
We are going.
Maybe pick some fruit from her trees.
Oh, he picked some fruit, all right.
That's just gross.
It is day 67 of the national emergency. Are you still out there? I hope so. I know you're out there. I know if you're like Cousin Mitchell, you're not taking your Hydra, whatever that stuff is. Don't take it. Hang in there. You know who I miss today? Well, I miss you, first of all. Humans, people, hanging out. And you can feel it all over New York City. I miss the graduates. Where are they? Running around the city in those caps and gowns. Tassels flying everywhere. Balloons, different colors, parents, families. I love those times of year in New York City when the family pods come out. Crossing the street, the kids leading the way, the parents not quite making the light. Graduates, graduation time. It's the best in New York. It's like the autumn when the leaves come out and you see all the different colors. Watching these kids go around in these caps and gowns is phenomenal. There's such pride beaming from everyone. And then you look closely at the parents and they got that look on their face like, how are we going to pay for all this? I mean, college is expensive. I want the free college. Like, I'm pushing for the free college, but I don't know. I didn't do so hot in free high school. So, what you gonna do? I was probably the only adult at college orientation with both the boys. I was probably the only guy there whispering in their son's ear, you can drop out now. All right. There is a birthday celebration tonight for Karen Volpe, put on by Paul Preston, the lovely and talented Paul Preston. He has got some great comics and storytellers together. And tonight at 9, and there's a link. Kate, if we can post that link, that would be awesome. There's going to be a link in the old sidebar there. So 9 o'clock, jump on over to the Karen Volpe Comedy and Musical Hour. I have no idea how long it's going to last. Also, last Wednesday was Stevie Wonder's birthday. And Leah Morris, who's going to be on the show a little bit later on, sang a wonderful tribute to him by singing his Higher Ground. So let's start off with that.
DJs, keep on teaching. You believers, keep on believing. There's a world gonna keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Ain't gonna be too long. So glad that you let me try.
Awesome. And speaking about higher ground and graduation, there was a great big all the broadcasters carried it. There was a great big graduation celebration for the class of 2020, and I thought this was very pertinent. Talking to everybody about higher ground, using your higher selves. This guy
doing what feels good, what's convenient, what's easy. That's how little kids think. Unfortunately, a lot of so-called grown-ups, including some with fancy titles and important jobs, still think that way, which is why things are so screwed up. All those adults that you used to think were in charge and knew what they were doing, turns out they don't have all the answers. A lot of them aren't even asking the right questions. So if the world's going to get better, it's going to be up to you.
Is
All
currently
right.
unavailable. Please leave a
If
message
the world
after
is
the
going to
beep.
get better, it's going to be up to us. That's for sure. And it may very well be up to talented folk like Anastasia Washington. Now, we just met her
Is currently unavailable.
very recently, working on a script that Taylor put together. Right now, we're calling it Love in the Digital Age, and it is a comedy of sorts. And Anastasia is a comedian and a writer. Yeah. Say again. My engineer is.
We're hearing a sound from Skype saying, right now, this person is not available.
Yeah. Okay. That's just a little Skype bouncing in. Oh, yep. Okay, so let me see if we can.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hi.
And
Yeah,
here
we had
we
some
are.
We had a technical difficulty. I don't know what my computer's doing, so I had to turn on my iPad. So
Well, there we go. Yeah, technical snafu is pretty much our middle name.
Oh, good. Well, then I'm on brand.
Yeah, exactly. As we say, it happens.
Yeah.
So, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I was watching the show. It was fun.
Great. You're busy. You're a busy person.
Yeah. I am pretty busy. I keep busy.
And you have a lot going on. I mean, when we had a little time to talk this afternoon, you had mentioned this SAG project that you're involved with right now.
Yeah, I am producing and writing in a show called Disordered, which is about eating disorders during COVID. It's a comedy.
Awesome.
Disordered.
Well, so let me see now. I know for a fact that you're making comedy out of murder in this podcast, and now you say that you're making comedy out of eating disorders. So is comedy your thing?
Comedy is definitely my thing. I think it's where I excel is finding the funny in awkward situations and weird macabre things. I think that's how I kind of grew up, is definitely my parents had that kind of sense of humor. So I think I guess I caught it. I caught that.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm not much of a dweller. I like to find out what's funny about the situation and laugh through it or get through it in that way, create something, or at least like laugh. I mean, I remember since a young age, if like my family was arguing, I would just like run around in a circle in the middle of it until they could just stop. Or she's not going to stop until we until we stop fighting. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so the podcast I was listening to. So first of all, your intro music is this pastiche, this combination of all of these old cereal commercials that we listened to when we were growing up as kids, and then I
Which was
heard.
really fun thing. Oh my god, I had to listen to so many commercials.
And then you guys were talking about the actual flavor of the berries in Captain Crunch. Like that was the beginning.
Yes, we have talked a lot about Captain Crunch on Serial Killer because it comes up a lot. There's a lot of different kinds, and we actually in the previous episode discussed and found out the origin story of the flavor of Captain Crunch. So you better tune into one of those because we solved the mystery.
Wow. Okay.
But why don't you just listen to us instead?
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna tune in for that one. And then, but then all of a sudden, like so I was doing some, I was writing some stuff, and then I'm listening to this about the flavor of the berries in the Captain Crunch, and then all of a sudden we're talking about murder.
Yes. Yeah. Serial Killer is where we pair murder or true crime with breakfast cereal. Sometimes badly. Sometimes we don't make a perfect pairing.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. It's gripping. That's the word that popped into my head because it was like such a jarring switch. I was like, okay, now you definitely have my attention.
Amazing. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that show.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot of fun with everything. I was watching some of the links on your website, and you seem to be rocking and rolling in the stand-up comedy world right before all this hit.
Yeah, I mean, I had taken a few years back and had just gotten back in a rhythm of stand-up right before this all happened. So that was a little jarring when that first happened, but I have not let it keep me down. I have found virtual ways to do stand-up and virtual ways to just get the comedy out there in different ways. There are a lot of comedians online doing these online shows. So, even Flappers has asked me to do a show, so I'm going to be doing a show soon with them. So the big places are still doing stuff.
Right.
It's just Zoom now.
Yeah, and so it's that Zoom configuration, right? The talent is there, the audience is there. I've seen a couple where some of the folks in the audience were in their bed with no shirt on. It's the wild and woolly west out there.
And some people choose, it depends on what show. So I've been on shows where they mute the whole audience, which is weird because as comedians, we feed off, that sounded like we're vampires, but what I meant was we get feedback from the audience and we work, work our material around that. Especially me, I have a huge roster of jokes, and depending on how I'm feeling or how the audience is really reacting to things, I go, oh, no, and I think most comedians are like that. But people will be like, what are you going to do on stage today? And I'm like, I have no idea. We'll just see where it goes. But you can't really do that over Zoom because you can't really feel how the audience is feeling.
Right.
And if you're on Instagram Live, you can start seeing, little comments and stuff, but you can't really also focus on that, right? Because you're I gotta focus on performing. So it's different. And then some people don't mute them. And so you can hear this delayed laugh sometimes, or this
Yeah.
I'm not sure which is better, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, because I was doing some stand-up just before the pandemic hit, and I am so used to a silent room. There's no place I feel more comfortable than doing comedy in a silent room, boy, I'll tell you that.
There you go.
There you go. That's right. This is my time, I'm telling you. So, speaking of time, how long have you been in the biz?
So, I've been acting and singing since I was about 3 years old.
Wow.
And I became union around 8. years old.
Wow.
Early 90s was when I paid off my big old chunk of initiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I started pretty young. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Both my parents were, like, my mom was a go-go dancer in the 60s for, like, huge bands. But then she became a mom and a professional, and my dad was a city official. So they were they had this creative edge to them and this, like, humor, but they were also, like, very responsible, like, individuals.
Right.
So, so when they saw me performing, they for sure were like, yeah, you can do it, but they didn't put, like, a lot of pressure on me because they were, like, hoping, I think my dad was hoping, like, I would just, like, change my mind and become a doctor.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But my sister did, so there you go.
Well, there you have it.
You had one.
Yeah. One. Honestly, I'm the same way. One doctor is enough. Oh my God, they take up all the air in the room, for crying out loud.
I got one one of my sisters is a doctor, one of my sisters is a teacher, and then I am me. So we're all good.
Yes, and you are wonderful. And we just had, this is our kind of getting to know you interview. We had so far a great audition. We did our first backstage all Zoom audition, and then we just did Taylor's wonderful first script, her sketch comedy, which is now being edited, and hopefully we'll roll that out next Tuesday.
It's so much fun. It's so relevant to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine being in a relationship right now and being quarantined away from each other. That is...
I know.
It's a strange world we're in right now.
It's a very strange world. Well, we're going to leave it on that note. Anastasia, thank you so much. I know we also want to come back and maybe have you sing on the show. I think that would be awesome, too.
I would love that. I just actually came up with a quarantine parody that I just recorded before this, so maybe we'll come on and do that.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Anastasia. Be safe. Have a great night, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao. Bye. Oh, fantastic. Yes, that's what we need, is a parody. We need some more parody distraction. Okay. Speaking about distraction, it's all fun and games when Joe Games is around.
Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking to you about Heads Up. Heads Up is a really fun game that you can play through an app on your phone. I got a lot of play from us pre-quarantine. It's pretty easy to get it transferred and play it on a video chat. Any amount of players can play. It can be fun to have one person keeping score as you go. Set up for this game, you need at least one person who has the app on their phone. It's a free app, you can get it on the App Store. The actual gameplay, participants will select a deck of cards, like a certain category. It's like music, celebrities, charades, animals. It'll flash a bunch of prompts on your phone, which other people will try and make you guess. You hold your phone up to the video chat, and then the person whose turn it is to guess just covers their eyes so they can't see anything. All they can do is hear. Their teammates will then shout out clues to get you to guess the right answer. Tilt the phone down. If they get the answer correct, it'll mark it as correct. Tilt the phone up. They want to pass or skip this one, and it will skip. Return it back to normal. It will move on to the next clue. You get a point for each correct answer, and you get the tally at the end. Heads Up includes decks called Just for Kids and Animals, and while some other decks may be geared a little bit more towards the older crowd, we give this game a rating of FF for family fun. It can take maybe a round or so to just get used to which way it tilts. People catch on pretty quick to how it works. Gameplay for helping someone guess is easy. Heads Up is a pre-pandemic classic game. Heads Up is fun, fast-paced, and a little bit trivia-based since you're trying to guess something by helping people get clues. So we give this game an easy rating for gameplay and moderate in terms of clue guessing. Here at Dispatch's Game, we give this game a rating of 19,000 quarters. Have fun and enjoy Heads Up.
Guess who's back? Yay! It's Leah! Yay!
How you been, Scott?
I've been all right. How about yourself?
Yeah, been well. Very fortunate.
Yeah, and you have been very busy.
That I do prefer it that way.
So I've tried to keep up with some of it. But, you know, the thing is when I go to kind of see what everybody's up to on Facebook, then I just instantly get sucked down the rabbit hole.
Oh, don't I know?
Yeah. But you've been playing, you had a concert, you've been playing with just other groups.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what are some of the things that have been going on specifically?
So I've been doing each Sunday, I've been having what I call a song celebration, just inviting a few people, some friends I've known for, you know, decades, and other people I just heard somewhere else online, and, you know, just people I wanted to talk to and hear more of their music. Getting together and it's been so just healing and therapeutic for me just to reach out and communicate and hear those songs, and especially the songs that people are writing now. You know, there's a lot of encouragement that we're able to share with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a full-length concert, an hour-long concert, FB Facebook concert, and I'm planning another one for a couple of weeks from now. And you know, just you got to keep creating and growing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So just want to go back. So the Sunday thing, how do we find out more about that? That's just on Facebook, and is it listed as an event?
Thank you for reminding me that I should do
Yeah, okay. Because I thought there was something on Sunday, and I went and looked, and then I was like, And the other wonderfully confusing thing about you is you also are a person with several pages, right?
Well, I have my personal page.
Okay.
And then I have that's, you know, the page that's intended for music promotion. So, and sometimes I cross post, but sorry if that's confusing.
No, that's just me, you know, because I also hit it and I'm just like, you know, I give myself 3 minutes, you know, to figure out all this stuff, and then you can't do it. So This Is Leah is the music page.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly. And that is where I've been doing the song celebrations. And I will create an event, because you're not the first person to ask. But there are just so many things, right? So many details to pull together.
Yeah, yeah. And you're wonderful at it. You're one of the people that I am following, because I was like, oh, yeah. And I have it in my notes, like do an event for the show. But, of course, that was 4 weeks ago I wrote that note down.
Right.
Because
Well, I appreciate it.
And so this one thing, you know, the thing I love about looking on your pages, I know that at some point my heart is just going to get captured. And I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, but the Woyaya song?
It's Woyaya.
Woyaya.
And I will tell you that I wasn't aware of that term before. I didn't know the word or its pronunciation before. Michael Holmes, a gentleman who is the music director at the Unitarian Church in Silver Spring, Maryland, invited me to come and be their guest for their Zoom service. And he said, you know, this is our song of the month. Would you like to take a crack at it? Would you like to do a version of it? And so I said, yeah, it's a great song. At first I thought, you know, this is kind of rocking too. And then I listened to the message and was like, yes, spot on. We're moving through something. We're going somewhere. We don't even know where we're going. But we know we will get there, and we will get there together. You know, we'll build what we intend out of this time. So
yes, absolutely. I love that sentiment. Okay, I'm going to roll this, and then we're going to come back and talk about it.
Sounds awesome.
Be ready for your heart to be grabbed.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will. We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We know we're there, we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We know we're there, we will get there. know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. Woyaya, 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 we'll know we're there.
Oh yeah. That was beautiful. That was
Thank
really
you.
beautiful.
Thanks, Scott.
And so that song was presented to you. How long did that video take to make?
Well, I guess it depends on how you put it. You know, how you count the time. But we had about a week. So he might have gotten in touch with me the Monday before they were going to have this church service on Sunday. But we also knew we wanted to create the videos ahead of time. Obviously, you have to coordinate all those folks. So I learned the song the first day and put my parts together. And then I sent it to Michael, and he wrangled his choir. He has a very, they were lovely, and they were, you know, there are many good and positive things I could say about how that project came together. But we definitely had, you know, 5 days in which to do it.
And then did you do the final engineering, or was that something that Michael did on his end?
For this project, I did everything that I performed, I did here. And then I sent my final video. So I took all of the footage there and edited what you saw in the center. And then he invited his folks to contribute their voices and edited and mixed them in.
Yeah, editing is becoming the new, you know, I don't know what grammar, or it's the new, you know, I've had more questions about how do you edit this, you know? And something I need to find out a little bit more is how people are editing on Windows, you know, on the Windows operating system, because a lot of my friends have that as well, and I'm not as versed, you know.
Right.
But yeah, everyone's becoming. It's not that everyone's becoming an editor, but everyone's feeling the power of editing.
Exactly. It's really, I mean, that's kind of how we are together now in a lot of ways. Obviously, we have opportunities like this and Zoom where we can actually talk in real time, but music making, editing is where it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have another project, the Hey Jude project, right?
Yeah. So basically, when a song pops into my mind or a musician pops into my mind, I'm like, I want to do this. And I was just thinking of some friends. We just finished doing Drift Away, just a couple of verses and choruses of Drift Away with a couple of buddies of mine. And I just thought about how fun it is when we play Hey Jude live and everybody sings on that. It's just the best thing. So I thought, why not? Instead of calling on professionals, why not just call on everybody? Anybody who wants to sing, send me a track, and it might be a little cacophonous, but it's going to be fun. And it's going to be awesome regardless. So, yeah, that's the idea there.
Okay, so let me just confirm. Are you opening this up to non-singers as well?
Anybody with a phone.
Okay. All right, Dispatch's audience, you heard it. So I know there's a link for that, which I didn't put in the bio because I wasn't sure if you're still doing it, but I will get that link and put that in tonight and for Thursday's show as well. And then I'm gonna drink my tea with I wouldn't call it singing.
Warble,
yeah.
whatever it is.
I'm gonna na.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so happy that we had a second. I knew that you were really busy and I really tried to time it right. And I'm glad you were able to come on and we could have a chat tonight.
It's always a pleasure, Scott.
Yeah. All right, Leah. Well, be safe and we'll talk again soon.
You do the same. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
God, it's funny. It's interesting to think of Leah as an old friend, but I really do. I mean, that's what I feel for her. I feel like she's an old friend, and she's a person that I met on Skype maybe 2 months ago. Well, it is getting a little confusing these last 2 months. In the beginning of this pandemic, there was sheer panic. And the idea was, stay at home to flatten the curve. And now we're getting a lot of crosstalk and a lot of folks have opinions. And so last night on what I have found to be a touchstone for me, PBS News Hour, it's public broadcasting, right? We've already paid for it with our taxes. And I really feel like Judy can cut through a lot of stuff. Judy Woodruff cuts through a lot of stuff and gets to the heart of the matter. Well, last night she talked to Dr. Atul Gawande, and he's a writer with The New Yorker, and he's also the writer of one of Kate's favorite books called The Checklist Manifesto, which is this insane book. Well, maybe we'll have Kate on the show to talk about that. And he's a doctor, so it's easy to listen to him. And what he's recommending is we just stick with our 4 basics. And I'm going to let him, let's make sure I get the right one here. I'm going to let him tell us all about it.
Dr. Gawande, it's so good to have you with us again. You are reminding people that even as we move ahead, it's important to keep the basics in mind. So tell us again, what are the basics?
Well, I think the basics come from the fact that there have been a group of workers who have been going to work right through this epidemic, and those are healthcare workers. And we've managed in the United States to make it so we can go to work and not spread the virus. And there are 4 components to what I've called a combination therapy. The components are ones you all know, but each of them are flawed. But when you put them together, it stops the virus, and we're demonstrating that in healthcare. So what are they? Number 1 is hygiene. Number 2 is distancing. Number 3 is screening people for even very mild symptoms so they stay home rather than going to work. And 4th are masks. And the main value of the masks is that we can spread the disease, we now know, before we've developed symptoms. And the best way to keep from infecting other people is a mask, because it's our respiratory droplets when we talk, when we breathe, when we cough, that we have the ability to spread the virus. About our culture of what we're going to do to secure safety for one another. It's a debate that's about safety and freedom, right? Keep me safe, leave me alone. And we're putting too much emphasis on the minority who are, refusing to participate. The reality is, if the vast majority of us, if we get even just 60% wearing masks that are 60% effective, that's to say they're double layer cotton at least and fit well, then we can avoid spreading infection to other people. The value is I protect you, you protect me. And we don't have to all be perfect. We don't have to be vigilantes about it, but we do have to build a culture where we feel my job is that I never want to be the one to put you in the hospital. I never want to be that person. That's the culture of healthcare that we've built that keeps us safe when we go into work at a place that has risk, and we've managed to avoid turning hospitals into places of spread.
Okay. Wearing the mask. I protect you, you protect me. All right. I love you, you love me. I hope. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, Joseph. And thank you, Leah, for spending some time and helping this whole thing come together for everybody. All right, let's do it. Hunker, hug, Haven. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. We'll see you on Thursday.